Tonight, we're going to be talking about that new Transformers Haslab. We got new MOTU as well as Real Ghostbusters from Mondo, new Mattel MOTU, and so much more tonight on this big game edition of Geek Dad Live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Live. My name is Jay Glatfelter here, starting a little bit later to account for the big game. Can I say Super Bowl? Well, I just said Super Bowl, so I don't know. Big game, Super Bowl. I'm all sorts of blurry, apparently. Hopefully, I'm starting to clean up here or something. I don't know, but if hopefully that cleans up soon. Maybe I'll just turn off my Wi-Fi because this computer is hard lined in. Let's see what happens when I turn it off. Maybe it'll destroy it. We have a guest host, by the way. Let's see if that fixes it or breaks. Yeah, nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to fix it, folks, is what I'm trying to do. I unplugged it, plugged it back in. Well, let me at least bring in the co-host tonight. So that way, at least if I just die on the internet today, we'll have somebody in here. Let's bring, he was so great last week. We're bringing him back again this week. Please welcome, second time co-host on the show, good friend of the channel, Quip.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. What's up, everybody out there?
Good to have you, my friend.
Yeah,
do I look pixely on your end? Because I look good on my end.
I honestly was concerned about my camera. I was like, oh no, is my camera messing up? Do I need to switch to my wife's laptop? I don't know. But it seems like it might be on your end. Maybe Colleen's got a laptop you can hop on?
Well, the thing is, like, this computer is hardline to gigabit internet. So I just don't understand when it like says mine is slow. And then I do a speed test and it's super fast. I guess I do have to like take the cartridge out, blow on it a little bit. Am I at least sounding okay if I don't look okay?
Sound good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting 800 and almost 900 920 megabytes down. And that's while streaming the Super Bowl upstairs.
Yeah, and that might be it.
Well, but I'm still getting over 900 megabits per second down and then over 900 megabits per second up while this is uploading. So StreamYard, you got to get your stuff together, okay? Like, agreed, yes, have some. StreamYard, if you're going to charge us like $1 billion a month for this service.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of Mickey Mouse operation are they running over there? I mean, we got work to do, right? We got toys to talk about.
Exactly. A lot of toys, a lot of toy news. Hopefully it clears up over time. Speaking of yes, have some or toy anxiety. The Jeffries are back, folks. February the 18th. I believe they just did their nominations last week. Last Tuesday. And so next week, Craig will be joining the show, our Sunday show, in prep for the Jeffries. And then, like the last time there was the Jeffries, I will be doing a red carpet show for the Jeffries on this channel, leading up to the Jeffries actual award show on the Toy Anxiety YouTube channel. So I'm really excited about that. Quip, have you ever experienced the Jeffries before?
I have experienced the Jeffries. It is a life-changing, momentous event. I laughed, I cried. Yeah, it's a wonderful occasion. Really looking forward to it. Glad to hear they're back. I saw Craig announce that earlier in the GDL Discord, so that was fantastic. Quick plug for the GDL Discord for those of you who aren't members. Sign up. It's fun. It's a good time. You get the inside track. See, I already knew that the Jeffries were coming, so I could personally prepare. I had to sit my wife and daughter down and say, okay, Daddy's going to be offline and in his room, just sitting there in quiet, needing to just take in, to drink in, to breathe in the experience that is the Jeffries.
I love it. Well, you know what, Quip, you are a significant contributor to the GDL Discord, and core member, I would say. Many core members here in the chat tonight. Let's say hello to them. real quick as I leave this Jeffries plug up on the screen right now. Scroll it back a little bit. We'll start with Zach. Zach is here. Sean, Mecha Manblade, Chad Stewart, Make My Marvel Legends, Fake Wood Table, Cone Killer, Confuser, Dave is here. Doralaxian, Gray Fox, Jeffrey, Stephen Lawrence, Timbo from Limbo, Allison Troy, Master of Research, Trucker Prime, Broadway TV Archive. Heyo. One of my friends runs or founded and runs Broadway Con or B-Way Con, and they had Lin-Manuel Miranda there, and then he serenaded my friend's kid with the song from Moana, like sang to her
awesome.
little kid.
That's awesome.
Away, away. Anyways, so cool. My dear friend Melissa, that was so freaking cool. Nick Dillinger, Michael Miller, Rob Bizzeri is here. Let's see. I just did Michael Miller. Derek Dalzell is here. Flash 739 in the house. Joey Curell is here. Ryan Dole in the house. Makes me wonder if my StreamYard trouble was actually Jay's fault. I mean, you might as well blame me. Let's keep going. I mean, so many people here tonight. Even on a Super Bowl Sunday, the house is packed. Mr. Chris Beck's in the house. So many good friends here. And which is surprising because you'd think people would still be watching the big game. Hopefully the Chiefs are still losing. No offense to the Chiefs fans. I'm so sorry.
But I mean, Super Bowl, Schmooper Bowl, right? I mean, we're talking Transformers, Haslab. So many people here in the chat ready to kick the tires, light the fires, and D-Triple-T down to talk toys, right? Come on, let's do it.
Amen. All right. So, Quip, where are you at in the
world?
In the Transformers world? Where do you side on the Transformers side of things?
In the Transformers world,
yeah,
I appreciate from afar. It's overwhelming to try and get in, even in preparation for tonight's show. I was like, okay, what are the different classes? What are the different sizes? How do you get into one line or the other? What are the different price points? How intricate are the different sculpts? How difficult are the transformations? What on earth is kibble? What does dog food have anything to do with Transformers collecting?
Kibble is the, like, if there's extra just bits and pieces hanging out, right? Just for people that don't know what the kibble is. Okay, but you're not like, you don't really, this isn't tempting you, I guess, this Haslab that dropped.
This isn't tempting me, but I'm always excited for people to get something cool, right? Something big, something cool. Again, these Haslabs are events. One of my favorite things to say is toys beget toys. So if Haslab and Hasbro sees some success with this, if this properly funds, if Transformer collectors are excited about it, hey, if they like it, I love it. I'm just here. I hope it funds. I want everybody to get all the toys of their dreams.
Well, it is a Haslab, so we have ourselves a Brian Brink chart. So we'll see how it's doing compared to other Transformers Haslabs. I will say, having seen a few of these now, Transformers is a bit of a different beast on the Haslab front because they take in, like, Takara Tomy takes in orders in Japan as well. So there's these kind of big influxes, and we'll see some look at the charts where it kind of just keeps jumping up. Just all of a sudden it'll jump up. So it doesn't have that same Haslab curve of big day 1 or 2, then chill for a while, and then another big spike. These work a little bit differently, and they generally fun, even if it is a more deep cut character that maybe you aren't aware of. Thank you, Michael, for Jay to update his internet service. Matt had reviews in the house. Did this guy come before Voltron? I think after Voltron. Okay, so I am not a Transformers expert. I do enjoy Transformers, a G1 guy myself, but there is a dear friend of the channel that is a bit of a Transformers expert, Ken, who I did invite to come on. He usually has family dinner right at this time. So it's usually only if his family's away that he can join. I even said, hey, if you just want to, like, jump on and talk about this and then get back to your dinner, But it's actually his birthday tomorrow, ladies and
Whoa.
gentlemen. He's going out celebrating his birthday tonight with his family. And so I want to give a big happy birthday to Ken from Toy Connections, phenomenal channel. He's talked about this Liokaiser combiner on his channel before. So Ken's the man. Happy birthday, Ken. It's
Happy
also
birthday, Ken.
Speaking of birthdays, it was my wife Colleen's birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, Colleen, my wonderful wife.
Colleen. Yeah.
And then today is my youngest son Alex's birthday. So happy birthday, Alex.
Whoa. Yeah. So many birthdays.
They're stacked together.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
But anywho, okay, so I was like, Ken, what's the big deal about this set? And he's like, Jay, let me tell you a tale. And so basically, in the chat can tell me if I'm remembering what he told me wrong. But this is kind of the Deathsaurus's right-hand man from was it Victory whatever Transformers show. So the Victory Saber, the Deathsaurus, Liokaiser is in that group of characters, and they do have a vintage version of this combiner. And he was showing me some sold listings. Complete open set is like $600. In box set's $1,500. And then this one has a big tier that is giving us a character from the show that has never been made before. This Breast dude, but they actually changed his name to not Breast. I think it's Chest. Let's see if it's where is he at? This not Death Cobra. Is it this one? Something about the breast chest guy and a chest animal, whatever. Anywho, you're getting that figure in here as well.
Okay.
So this is it's one of those deeper cut Death Cobra. Thank you, Mecha Manblade. The Death Cobra Breast Force. That's what it is. Thank you, Dave. So this is a big deal. This is a big deal for collectors that like these, later characters, like the Victor Saber, like the Deathsaurus. That was just the last time, and now you get a chance to get yourself a sweet combiner that puts this guy together. Now I gotta be completely honest, Quip. This ain't for me. The Deathsaurus looked cool, as well as what was the first one? Whatever that one was called. Deathsaurus and the combiner team are the Breast Force. Thank you, Aaron. But Justin says I'm tired of all the Victory stuff. I'll pass on this. But for me, like, it's kind of cool, but it just I'm such a basic Transformers collector. I'm either G1 or G2, and that's it. And even still, like, some of the other designs kind of catch my eye. But this one for me just doesn't. But like you, I'm happy for those that are going to get them. And doing a combiner is pretty cool for a Haslab as well, because you get a bunch of little vehicles
exactly
that turn into a big one.
You get 6 in 1.
Yeah.
A couple of these jets are pretty cool. I like the concept of the different chest animals that come out that go with the particular bots. I like it. I like it. Well, one, I mean, of course, people have called it out in the chat. And you even, I guess, referenced Mad Hatter when he said, hey, was this Voltron first, or was this first? I don't know, but similar to Voltron. I like the different animal themes. That kind of gets us more over into, I'm thinking Power Rangers too, because it's different animals. So I like the vibes. Overall, this seems like a really cool robot that is cool.
And it's fair, like Justin is calling out here, in North America, we're all just G1 and G2 because we didn't have the later seasons to grow up with. And I think that is probably the thing. And if you aren't as heavily of a nostalgia-driven collector, like and I'll readily admit I'm a nostalgia-driven collector, you would maybe want to go for this. But for me, I just don't have that connection, so it's a little bit harder. I'm not like a diehard Transformers fan that has like gone back and checked out everything, and locked into even the stuff that I missed as a kid. Like I don't have that as part of it. It's not gross. It's why we're all here, right? Unless you have a channel named Nostalgia Unboxed, you're not really for nostalgia, but everybody else is here for the nostalgia.
Yeah. Well, this particular, okay, so I don't have a lot of nostalgia for this specific Transformer or Transformer line, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on the tiers, right? As far as, because I have thoughts, but I don't want to step on your toes, right? As far as the different tiers and unlocks, right? Any thoughts there?
The thing is, there's history with the Transformers Haslabs where the tiers didn't really do too much. Like there's a stand or a throne or something, and then some type of accessory. And so this is kind of doing a similar thing. We're getting the first tier is a fan demanded character that we haven't gotten yet. So I think that's pretty cool. Or it sucks that it's held behind a paywall or a tier, if you will. But again, seeing how well it's doing, I assume that one will get unlocked. And then once you go past there, you have this nunchucks or nunchaku a set that looks pretty neat. It's fine. And then the stand is fine. It's not anything that's special. So to me, it's just it's whatever. It's kind of bonus. It's not. I don't think they're big drivers beyond the first tier of the Death Cobra.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too, and even mirroring what Justin Moynihan just shared, where the tiers are awesome because you get the figure right away.
Exactly.
So that's one of the things that
yeah,
that stood out to me. Hey, you get really what you want, and then you kind of get this cool. It says, I don't know if the actual accessory is magnetic in any way, shape, or form, but I guess in the show this was an electromagnetic nunchaku accessory.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool too. And then you kind of get to the stand, which it feels like at this point a stand should have been included, especially at this price point, right?
Yeah,
just give them a stand. Give collectors a stand so it doesn't topple over. You don't want any sad accidents. But again, still positive thing that Death Cobra is the first tier that's unlockable, and then fans can kind of rest at ease. And if they get the other things, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Something easily that accessory seems like something that would be a simple third-party accessory that you might be able to pick up on the aftermarket from some other place. So
yeah. Well, Jamie Vaughn calls out Iron Factory's made a version. It's also really good. Not sure which I want now. I'm assuming Iron Factory is a third-party version. Iron Factory, Liokaiser. Let's see.
I don't know, Jamie Vaughn. Does it come with a stand? Does Iron Factories come with a stand? Because that could be the tipping point, right?
Looks a little bit cheaper. I don't. Well, okay. These are all the guys, and I don't know how. If you want to let me know in the chat how much this thing costs. So it's interesting when you're gonna fight against third-party makers, because third-party makes some good stuff. So I'm curious. No. Hatter says he finds all his Haslabs at Ross. But so I mean, you have a third-party option, which it does affect it a little bit here, maybe. But I guess if you're in it to win it, I feel like you want to get the official release. Like third party's nice if maybe they haven't made that character in a while or they just haven't done it. But if you have like the legit one, it's the way you want to go. Iron Factory is Legends scale, so it's a different scale than this one.
Ooh, interesting. Is it Legends scale for the individual bots, or is it Legends scale once they are all combined together?
See, I lose track of all the scales. I'm bad at that game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Transformers folks. You're sending your hate mail to me. Leave Quip alone. He's doing great.
Letting them down. We're letting them down.
That
Oh,
being said, okay, legend scale is the $10 size class. Okay, so it's a wee bit smaller, individual box.
okay. So individual
But see,
box. Okay,
aren't these guys a legend scale then? On the
they're
individual
close.
spot, right? Oh, it's legacy. But it's legacy once together. Once they're separate, they're legend scale too, aren't they? Oh, pocket scale. Yeah.
Mm,
But anywho, that being said, it's kind of cool. I love this teal
yeah.
color on this guy right here. Um, the lion, the chest, Leo Zach. Legends are about 4 inches tall. Well, there you go. These are Voyager
Okay.
scale. Cool. Thank you, Dave.
I've heard
Um,
some complaining, some criticisms that these transformations do look a little simple for the price point. Um, I don't know if that's consistent. I don't know how people are feeling in the chat about this. If they love it, nope, it's the perfect size, perfect transformations. I've heard the term hollowness thrown around a lot for a couple of these transformations once they're in the vehicle mode. But all in all, from what I see on the surface, it looks
well,
really neat.
I think it's a tough part about if you do a combiner. Like it is gonna be simpler in its smaller form. That's where I
Mhm.
think it would have been cool if it was a Devastator. Now they're doing it retail, which is probably the right way to go about it, like selling the individual, vehicles that eventually you can combine and make the Devastator, right?
Yeah.
Which is the right way to go about this. I like that the Transformers HasLabs have been, deeper cuts that, fans want, but maybe aren't the frontline, G1 character that a lot of people will like. And so the fans that want to get it can get it, but the Devastator should be a main retail release. So I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Toby Hickson says, I have every other Transformers HasLab, passing on this one for many reasons. Mostly it looks dumb, it's overpriced, and those are deluxe to Voyager class priced at leaders.
Mm.
Whew. Tell us how you really feel, Toby. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
And Zach says, would have been cooler if it was a Predaking. Predaking's pretty cool. I know him. I know Predaking.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how this thing is doing on the Brian Brink charts. If you are familiar with the charts, you can find these at geekdeadlife.com. There's a little link in the top left-hand corner. And we can see, let's open up the image in a new tab so we can be nice and big on here. And the goal is 10,000 to get the Liokaiser, just the combiner bot itself. And then at 13,000, we unlock the Death Cobra. At what is it, 16,000 or 16,000, unlock the
Yeah.
nunchucks. And then you get the display base at 18,000. And just so you can look at the colors and know what they are, the Victory Saber is the light blue. That was the first one. Deathsaurus was at 11,000. Omega Prime was at 10,000. Thing to note here is the Victory Saber and Deathsaurus were at $180. This set
Okay.
is at $299, so it is a bit pricier. That being said, it's pacing similar to Victory Saber and Deathsaurus. It's dropped a little bit below Deathsaurus and maybe a touch below the Victory Saber, but what is that, $120 more than those two? So I would say that
Yeah.
factors into it, right?
Yeah, that would make sense. And how far out do we have? How many days? Because I
There's like
know there are
43 days left. Forever.
yeah, 43 days. Okay. All right. And they're near the halfway point already. Actually, let me refresh. Let me see how many backers. How many backers now currently?
4,345.
Yep. All right.
So I think it'll pass. And like I said at the beginning, Transformers HasLabs play a little bit different than other crowdfunds in the States because these not only sell on the Hasbro Pulse website, but I think they sell in Japan as well from the Takara Tommy side. And so that's where you get they put in those numbers and you get these jumps in here, right?
That makes sense.
So
Okay.
typical crowdfund usually has like the day one spike and then it just chills for a while and then it jumps up in the end. With these Transformers ones, you see these little spikes that kind of come in throughout.
All right, cool. Shout out to the master of the charts for getting right on this and already having it live. That's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
he had it ready to go the second this dropped. Okay. Brian
Yeah,
Brinks, the man. Hasbro, actually any company, Mattel, Hasbro, Mondo, Super 7, you should hire this man for any of your crowdfunding needs. He has it on lock. Let's see. Yeah, are tariffs baked into the 299? Maybe. I don't if this is coming from China, maybe it is. Maybe that's a part of that price increase. We just
yeah.
don't know
I've
how
heard
that'll come into
tale
play.
that for some people who have checked out who are not members of Hasbro Pulse, they receive an additional $15 surcharge. So I don't know if
Oof.
that's anticipating or offsetting potential tariffs. I do not
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
But I do know there was a little bit of some rumbling, some kerfuffles, some people had
Maybe.
some consternation, if you will, with that $15 charge, especially on top of already paying the $300, and then that $15 is on top of the shipping fee.
Yeah.
They're making it more and more enticing to just become a Pulse member through some of the fees that are being tacked on
Well,
afterwards. If you're picking this
if
up,
my thing is what is it, $50 for the Hasbro Pulse? I do it as somebody that generally gets a couple Haslabs a year. Because if you do, like, it pays for itself on the shipping savings.
yeah,
Now, if you don't plan on getting at least one Haslab a year, then don't do the Hasbro Pulse thing because you'll just save yourself the $50. Like, I don't know if it necessarily gives you that much more. Maybe access to those streams, which they don't do as often, and maybe you get the head start on some of the figures, but eh, meh.
if you're gonna buy HasLab, I could see tagging on an extra $50. Just bake that into the cost so that you can
Yeah.
reap some of the other benefits. And then who knows if some other cooler things come out with respect to Waves of Legends or any other property that Hasbro is putting out figures for. But it seems at this point like it would be worth it.
Agreed. And Mecha Manblade says he'll wait for a warehouse clearance sale. Yeah, it's for those that want it, happy for you. But yeah, it just doesn't feel like it has as much I don't know, like pizzazz as some of the other sets so far. But again, I have no nostalgia connection to it, so there's nothing really driving that. But I didn't have nostalgia connection to Death Saurus, and I'm like, hey, that's just a cool looking robot. I kind of want that, you know. So I do think that's a difference there. Chris Morey says if you buy 10 things from Hasbro Pulse, it pays for itself. Shipping anything is $5 plus everywhere. So there you go.
Okay.
Do the math. Do the maths. Um. So anywho, we will find out. Okay, let's jump into some other news. We got so much. We got Mondo teasing some stuff. We've got, I don't know, what do you want to jump into, my friend?
You said Mondo, so now I've got an appetite to talk RGB. Let's see it.
Yeah, where's the best place to find it? Their Instagram that they posted that?
Instagram is where they posted a
Yeah.
couple of the images, and then if you look back far enough, I want to say at one of the recent toy shows, they actually had a couple of models on display as well.
Yeah, I think I have pictures of those too from when I was there. I love that we got these teaser images. I'm kind of more, and I think I even told them this in the chat, or in the chat in our group chat that we have with the Mondo peeps. I want to know when that Peter's gonna ship. But even still, really, really excited for this set. Maybe even more so than the other, the Peter Venkman Slimer and Sam Haines set, just because the I'm blanking on his name now. Boogeyman, thank you,
Yeah.
Boogeyman
It-
is incredible. The sculpting on it is insane. Plus, you get 2 head sculpts with that thing. It's gonna be nuts. So yeah, I really am excited for this one. But who am I kidding? I'm buying all these things. Where do you stand on these bad boys?
On these,
Yeah.
the $100 price point is a little more palatable for me for the
Mm-hmm.
individual Ghostbusters.
Sure.
Um, I keep looking at that Peter and see. So here's another way that I control my collecting and make sure it doesn't explode
Okay.
too much. Is sometimes I will intentionally wait for other figures to drop so that I
Mm-hmm.
can say, hey, maybe I can get all 4 Ghostbusters at the same time. I know that's unrealistic, so maybe 2, right? So I know the Peter is still up, but if when they drop Egon, it causes a rush on Peter and it cleans up Peter, and I can't get Peter. Well, then I shouldn't even bother collecting the line, right? Oh, shucks, I'm out. So, but but if I was going to get into it, I really have been looking at that Peter. I find myself going and checking it out. I really love the Slimer that comes with them too, because I'm very nostalgic for the Ecto Cooler. Shout out to Derek
Yes.
Hoover, whose wife actually has a recipe. So I watched through all the Ghostbusters movies this past Halloween season with my daughter. She's been begging, hey, can we
Nice.
watch it? So now's about a good time. So we watched them all. We made Ecto Cooler in order for us to, drink while we're watching the movie, made an event of it. So yeah, that Slimer really is what's pulling me in for this.
That's where, to me, I'll find it interesting because from what I understand, the $100 figure is supposed to be more of the evergreen sets, right? So you can still buy the $101 Peter Venkman figure that comes with the Slimer companion ghost, but you can't get the Sam Hain anymore. That was like a 2-week window or whatever. So that ship has sailed on that set, but these were available on the Mondo shop, on Entertainment Earth, on Big Bad Toy Store, and beyond. So I feel like, I don't work for Mondo, and I haven't talked to any of them about this, so I don't know for sure. But I would assume the $100 sets are going to be more of the evergreen kind of sets. So
Yeah.
at least if I was Johnny Mondo, trying to optimize and make as much money as possible, I would try to have these available for as long as possible. And that's where I would go there. That being said, the Egon set is a really exciting set, just because the boogeyman is such a different style figure, right? And I think I have it up on my Instagram page from when I was there. But if you've seen it, they had it at Comic-Con,
Yeah.
and San Diego Comic-Con, and it just looks so freaking cool, both of them. Oh no, that's from the last
And
one.
Slimer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have pictures of, yeah, there we go.
There we
But
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Egon, the Boogeyman, and the kind of intro, one of the intro ghosts. It's gonna be a really freaking cool set. And just look at how good it looks. It looks so good.
Yeah, I know so of course they're doing the 2 packs, but if Mondo can see it through to where all of the intro ghosts are there, just think of it. All of those intro ghosts lined up on a shelf.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a sight to behold if they can get there. So if you are so inclined, if anybody wants to see all of those intro ghosts, dive in, pre-order a couple of these.
Yeah, I'll be curious. I feel like Sam Hain is a big, right, in the
Mhm.
cartoon, a big baddie, but I feel like Boogeyman, chat, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Boogeyman might be the most popular one, bar none.
Yeah, if you're gonna pick a single ghost that is quintessential, Sam Hain, Boogeyman are both up there. If you're not gonna count the ghost that's actually part of the emblem, right? Which does that ghost
No,
have a name?
yeah, we'll call him No Ghost or
Okay,
Mowgli. Mowgli is, I think, his official,
okay,
unofficial name.
okay. Yeah, I think Boogeyman has scarred so many of us. He seared himself into our psyche
Yes.
through the cartoon that, yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. So I feel. I mean, I think for sure. Oh, Sam, 100% do a poll. Boogeyman is for basic fans. That's not a bad
Ooh,
thing. Damn. Okay,
the
all right,
shame.
I have to do a damn poll now. We just
Do a
need to
poll.
poll the chat. Can't live like this, people.
Do we include No Ghost
No,
or
because I
no
feel
or
like
no? Okay,
this is between Sam Hain and Boogeyman, right?
okay, okay. Keep it clean.
Between who
Hey,
is the biggest of the bads of the cartoon, right? Because movies, you could say, Gozer, Vigo, the Carpathian, but
yeah, yeah.
cartoon, I just feel like that's the thing. But anyways, let's start a poll. Who, what should who is the bigger bad? What should I ask?
Sure. Who is the bigger bad is good for RGB.
Yeah, for a good call for bad
Yeah.
for RGB. We'll do Boogeyman.
We're doing our own little Super Bowl, all right? Sam Hain
Yeah.
or Boogeyman.
Yeah. Who needs Chiefs and the Eagles?
Keep your sports ball.
Keep your sports bow. We don't need you. Okay. I don't even know if I spelled Sam Hain right. Whatever. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. Oh crap. I'm gonna be wrong in the chat. They're gonna beat me up. Let your thoughts be known. The chat is open right now. And for the record, chat, Sam Hain is running away with it. I thought Boogeyman would have been the winner.
Okay. Hey.
For sure. For sure. Wow. I'm kind of flabbergasted. While we wait for that, I guess we should see this through. But what would get you to buy these, Quip?
50% off coupon. Yeah, so these are good. And so my collection is centered on a lot of the cartoons. I mean, I have some movie stuff. Like I've got like the movie TMNT up here, those 4-packs, but I do have a lot of cartoon themed. These these aren't cell shaded, are they?
No, they're not cell shaded. So
Okay.
any shadows you're experiencing is just the actual shadows of the sculpt. And that's why Alex Brewer is a goddamn genius.
Yeah, you can get the shadows, you can adjust the lighting. I right now I'm trying to be fiscally responsible. I am in saving mode, but if I fell into a lot of money, boo. Somebody in the chat asked, they're like, so what does Quip collect?
You collect up here.
Exactly. Now, I understand why the price is what the price is, right?
Sure.
That is not any sort of criticism of Mondo because they do great stuff. And even when things don't go 100% as planned, they're always great about correcting those issues, right? It's
Sure.
one email, one phone call. Sometimes they actually reach out to you and say, hey, we've actually had these issues. We're going to go ahead and fix them. So, actually, I do need to do my tax returns. So maybe tax return money. Maybe that's it. Because and there are payment plans. See now, Monsters from Beyond. Ian is a bad influence too, because the more that he's mentioned those, just do these payment plans. They do have payment plans. Okay.
Right, because you're just taking it a little bit at a time. just a touch here and there, and then you'll be fine.
I'm succumbing to peer pressure. So let's change topics.
Yes, let's change topic. Let's see what you all have voted in the chat. Only 66 votes. Listen, I guess the Super Bowl, we don't have as many as we usually have on a Sunday, but we still have nearly 200 people watching right now, and only 66 of you voted. It's pathetic. Because you're letting Sam Hain run away with it right now. Who's the biggest?
Don't berate the people who are watching.
I'm using my bully pulpit. Okay, Quip.
Be nice. Be nice.
All right. Oh, look at that. You say something, Quip, and now it's getting a little tighter. I'll stop the poll at 100 votes. You got to get your votes in, folks. Frankie says Boogeyman got me buying this 2-pack. Take 2 Gash would be an awesome large scale figure in the style of Clayface with an absorbed slime or magnetic attachments. I mean, Gash is that going to be it's if Ray's next, or I think he's the next one. That's more voter turnout than the last American election. You know what? I mean, that was actually, we had a great turnout. Just
no. We need to stay the course. Ryan Dole is not allowed to make fun of America.
Yeah, exactly. Get out of here.
We don't tolerate that around these parts. And
get out of here.
As much as he complains about not getting free shipping, I hear there's an opportunity that's coming up where they might be wrapped into that. So,
yeah, exactly. You can become the 51st state, though. It'll be fine. You'll give up your free healthcare and get free shipping. Perfect trade. Perfect trade. Let's see, regarding Mondo issues, anyone waiting on Spider-Man fixes? That's true. It's I don't know. I haven't heard of that. I know people are waiting on those. Ryan Dole says, "Oh, I can make fun of y'all." Oh, sorry, we're trying to be inclusive, Ryan Dole. I would say blame Canada, but the current administration is already doing that.
Oof.
Sam Hain always seemed like the bigger threat, but man, Boogeyman was the most disturbing. That voice. I remember you. Oh man, so good. You're calling y'all, Dole. Grundle's pretty dope. I would say he's like scariest in Extreme Ghostbusters.
I hadn't even thought about that because I know they've teased the different Extreme Ghostbusters. Growing up, I was more into the Extreme Ghostbusters than the Real Ghostbusters. So maybe they start to, again, this line succeeds. They start to dip and dabble a little bit over there on the extreme side of things. And I become an Extreme Ghostbusters Mondo collector.
Oh, I love Extreme. I love Extreme. Horrible name, Extreme Ghostbusters, but damn if it's not a fantastic Lego sequel to the Real Ghostbusters.
It was a great name at the time, right? You had to be there, I guess. I mean, you were there, but now that we're not there, you can in hindsight go, yeah, it was pretty rough naming. At least they had the E and it wasn't just like X-Stream, which is very popular at the time.
But I even think at the time I was like, well, I guess this is a little bit more extreme. I mean, you had to call it something.
Yeah.
Do you have a better name than Extreme Ghostbusters in your head?
I don't.
Super Ghostbusters. Yeesh.
Nope.
Don't like that.
No.
Another 90s good in Ghostbusters 2.0. That's bad. That's 89 votes, by the way. It's getting tighter, folks. Let your voice be heard. See, Ghostbusters: The Next Generation, TNG. Maybe it's a little too on the head with the Star Trek, but
it could have worked. Ghostbusters 2000.
Ooh, I got it. Ghostbusters Generations. We go movie style. Star Trek Generations, Ghostbusters Generations.
Sure.
The double G. GG. We could have called it GG.
Could have.
Ghostbusters Beyond.
Ghostbusters Beyond does sound good. That I will give it to Ghostbusters Beyond. Rick Jones, that is a solid, because it speaks to the. I mean, we have Ghostbusters Afterlife now, but Ghostbusters Beyond does sound pretty neat. Yeah. But then you also had Batman Beyond, so I don't know if they would have felt like.
But okay, this would have come out before Batman Beyond.
Okay.
Because Batman Beyond was, I think, 99. Extreme was like, what, 96, 97?
Oh, let me see.
I think Ghostbusters Strikes Back. Ghostbusters next. Congrats to the Eagles shutting down the big bad Chiefs. Well done.
Congrats.
Sorry,
Okay.
E-Swizzle. Can't win it this time.
Yeah, Extreme Ghostbusters was 97.
Yeah, so there we go. 97 to 99. Ghostbusters Unlimited. Ghostbusters again. Ghostbusters 2099. Gen X Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters Incorporated. A lot of good names that I think would have been better. Still Ghostbusting.
Let's see. Ghostbusters Bust Harder, right? You know.
Amen. That would have been cool. Agree. Bills Commanders would have been a better matchup. I think we all wanted at least the Bills to go through, and I was rooting for the Commanders too. They're a nice kind of upstart team this year. XX Ghostbusters X. How would you pronounce that? Eggs Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Bankman and Friends. Good. I love a good Garfield joke. Because the guy voice of Ankman also voiced Garfield. And then Bill Murray later voiced the live action. Oh my God, it's too crazy. All right, I think the poll, I gotta just stop it. I've meandered long enough, and it's over 101 votes. I tried to filibuster as long as I could for this thing, but Boogie, you lost. Sam Hain, 57% of the vote, wins as the biggest bad for Real Ghostbusters between the two. Boogeyman in second with 42%.
That's fair. Sam Hain is officially the ghost with the most.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. Right? I gotta live with it.
It's okay. It's all good.
It's the will of the people. It's what they voted for. I don't always agree with what the people vote for, but that's what they voted for. And we all gotta live with the consequences, you know?
Yep.
Of this poll in the YouTube channel.
Of this. Yeah. Sam Hain and Boogeyman. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to the other Mondo thing. What about old Evil-Lyn getting teased and dropped in a friend of the channel, Pixel Dan's channel this past week? Ooh, I gotta put this in while I get that teed up. Oops, all Slimer. Oh yes. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I gotta say, like, I don't know what it is. It's early images. It's, you know, we beyond that video, I haven't seen too much more than that. But the Evil-Lyn just at first glance isn't blowing me away. But maybe it's just not in the mood. Maybe, I don't know. Did you see the Evil-Lyn on Pixel Dan's channel?
I have seen it. I did watch the Pixel Dan video. I like the 4 different head portraits. I think it's pretty neat. The one that doesn't have the headdress. I really like the portraits for these figures for the MOTU Mondo line. They're very reminiscent of Batman the Animated Series, right?
Yes.
So I see glimpses of Catwoman in this Evil-Lyn.
Sure.
And I like that Mondo's also doing the 1/6 Batman the Animated Series line. So I think they mesh well together. I think in this particular figure, it looks really good.
It looks good. There's something, I don't like the skirt thing, maybe. I don't know. There's just something slightly, for me, it's Evil-Lyn is such a cool character. And it's just, there's something for me that's slightly off. But I know some people are loving it. Like Kate L says, gorgeous. There's other people that are saying Lynn looks good. Gage says Evil-Lyn more like Baylin. But and maybe because she's not yellow, maybe I want more of the classic toy look, maybe. But I've liked the Masterverse Evil-Lyn. I don't know if I still have her sitting here. I don't, but I thought she looked phenomenal. So it's not like I don't like the non-toy-ish looking one. But I think it's just not, the Tila was perfect, 100% perfect. No notes, 10 out of 10. The Evil-Lyn, I think I want it to be that same level that Tila was at, where it's just like, Tila's perfect. I expect Evil-Lyn to be perfect, but it's just not, it's just slightly Slightly off. Slightly off.
What is it that you think makes the Tila perfect and not necessarily this Evil-Lyn perfect? Because I
maybe
mean,
the face. Maybe the face
okay.
just isn't doing it for me.
Okay. And I'm picking up what Hatter's laying down in the chat, where as soon as somebody mentioned, is it because she's not yellow? I'm wondering what's the over/under
It's definitely
on
a con exclusive.
Yeah, on getting a yellow Lyn as a con exclusive. That's a perfect opportunity. If only there was somebody we knew who had connections to Mondo. Could be Canadian. You know,
Sure.
first name. You know, I just kind of throwing it out there. Likes to talk trash about the States, but
I mean, I could just text Peter too right now, but
okay,
takes away the fun out of it. We gotta have some suspense here, you know. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. But it's just again, yeah, the new Eternia Evil-Lyn. I really dig the new Eternia Evil-Lyn. So maybe that's why I don't know. It just we'll see. We'll see. It's not like I buy every MOTU Mondo figure. I mean, actually, famously, I have bought them before, but the 3 that I currently have in my collection, I have not bought. So like, who am I? Who am I to say? Like, my opinion doesn't really hold weight when I haven't personally bought them. But maybe it is. Maybe I gotta wait to see the yellow one to be fully bought in.
See, and this is just the tease. Have you gone into the website and actually looked at all the accessories? Let's get
is
the
it
full
on?
shot
Is
of
it
everything
on?
laid out.
Is it on Mondo.com right now?
Yeah, it's up on Mondo, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look. What is it on, like their news or something? Maybe. Or is that for pre-order yet?
Just click in the search and type MOTU.
You're right. Good call. It's so much easier. There's Evil-Lyn. Nope, not Evil-Lyn. MOTU. She's not in here.
Not in there. Huh.
Yeah. See? Look at this. Look at that Tila. That Tila's perfect. Just saying. Hashtag. Just saying.
I know I've seen the pictures overlaid. Like I've actually got one pulled out on
Pixel Dan's I thought they're for Pixel Dan's thing.
And on like foreternia.com has got the different layouts too. So.
Yeah, are they like the letter for Eternia?
No, it's FORE, like FOR and then Eternia. Like foreternia.com has got.
Well, I want to see if it's. I will say if it is. If these pictures are from Pixel Dan's video, I do want to respect his video.
Okay.
I don't. That's what I assume. That's why I didn't want to pull. But they look good. It looks good.
It's up on Toy News Eye. Oh, you know what? I do think they might.
But they screen grab from Pixel's video. Once again, maybe he said it was fine.
These look like official pictures. Okay,
well there you go.
Yeah.
Jay navigates the Mondo site like a man who gets his Mondo for free.
There may be some truth to that, right?
I have bought figures on Mondo, folks. It's just the 3 MOTU figures that I have not paid for. Exactly. Jay's not in. Big loss for Mondo.
I don't know if you just need to spend some time with the, just looking at the accessories. It's got
the accessories. Screech is cool. I'd argue Screech looks better than the Evil-Lyn.
Okay, you're just gonna get some people in the chat fired up now.
I know. I'm so sorry. I realize this is a hot take. I'm not digging the skirt.
Okay.
And the face is just, I don't know, just something's not there for me, but it could just be me. Again, but since it's not on their website or anything, I just want to make sure. But anyways, check out Pixel Dan's video if you want to get the full official look. Damn, I gave too much away.
You can remove.
I know you can remove it. I know.
So that'll give you more of the toy feel, though. If you remove the cloth and keep the.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Talking like this isn't going to get you a free figure. I don't want it. I don't want this as a free figure.
Do you have any of the other MOTU, like 1/6 MOTU? Do you have the?
Yeah, so I have.
Okay.
So here's the story, Quip.
Okay.
Let me take you on a journey. I admired them from afar, and then when that deluxe He-Man came out, however, maybe a couple years ago, I bought it. But mine had I don't know if you remember, there was like a issue with the torso and not connecting and then rubbing. And in mine, the paint started rubbing on it instantaneously.
Ooh.
And it didn't look good. And so John was co-hosting at the time, and it came out in time for our end of year favorites. It was on my least favorite. It was on his favorite. And it was just the difference between my experience and his experience with the figure. And so I was like, I was really excited for this, but I'm out. I was like, that was it. And it was kind of out of that Peter from Mondo reached out to me and said, hey, if you're having problems, just hit us up. We'll get it taken care of. But I was just done. I was like, that's cool, appreciate it, but I'm not going to be buying it. And it wasn't until PowerCon a year ago or whatever it was, met up with a friend who bought 2 of the Battle Cats there. He had 2, and he gifted me one.
That's right. I remember that story. Okay.
So he just gifted me one after a night of partying at PowerCon. It was like, I think 3 a.m. in the morning. It's getting wild. And then he gifted me a freaking Battle Cat. And then I carried it through the streets of Columbus, Ohio. And that's there. Okay, so that's that. Then, wow, the Evil-Lyn looks amazing, Jay. You're in it. It's so pixelated. Maybe you aren't seeing it. Exactly. It's a taste thing. It's just for me. It's just not to my taste. Jay gets sent the figure. Hey, here's Lynn. So I had that, and then Mondo hooked me up with a He-Man. So that was that. And then I stole, with permission, Skeletor from a Mondo party at New York Comic Con.
Okay. All right.
So that's how I have the 3. I've not bought any of them. Readily admit it. Blow me up in the chats. I deserve it. I'm just not feeling the Evil-Lyn, and that's it.
Yeah, if I were to go in on this line, I would want to get the that Beastman. That Beastman is really, really sick. So gnarly. And then I'd probably want a Skeletor and an Evil-Lyn. Like, I'd probably just want to do the baddies lineup and then just be done, because it's you're kind of in and out.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's 4, right? Skeletor, Trapjaw, Beastman, and Evil-Lyn, and then 5 if you include Panthor, and then you're out, right? But you're still in and out, right? It's not a huge collection. Right?
Sure.
Yeah, so that is another thing that I need to develop a lot of times when I do decide, you know what, I am going to start a line. I need to have a clean exit strategy of just get out, get in, get out. If not, if it starts to languish and, maybe I'll just buy. So I've got the 5 bad guys. Well, I'll just get their counterparts because once Man-at-Arms, of course you need He-Man and you need Prince Adam, right? Because that would be a good display just next to each other. Of course, you're gonna need Cringer Battle Cat, and then Man-at-Arms, Tila. That's not too crazy, right? Flash forward to, again, piles of boxes in the corner.
Yeah.
And where am I going to put these? Yeah, that's why it's
completely out of money.
Yeah, it's slippery slope. Now, going back to the RGB, that really is clean. And that's another reason why I would want to do just the single packs if and when I do go in on them. Because it's clean. Boom, Ghostbusters. It's cool that they packed in Slimer with Venkman. Clean, easy in and out. You're done. I say that, and then I just thought about, okay, but then what?
You need the 4 Ghostbusters, yeah.
Yeah, just the 4 Ghostbusters, in and out, easy. Yeah.
Says you. But hey, listen, have you this chat, I think we need to talk to Quip right now. Just we need to have a, I don't want to say intervention, because I think you're really healthy with like your collecting. But have you ever given yourself to the slide, like just get in on it and just let it take you to places you've never seen or spaces you've never had?
Yes, I have. And this when I was in college, and I was buying and selling vintage action figures on eBay as kind of like a side hustle. So I was collecting and then I
Sure.
was flipping and then taking those profits and buying more. I was collecting. I had the whole 1988, 89, and I had started in on the 1990 mint on card, unpunched in protectors of the Ninja Turtles line.
Mm-hmm.
I had some Voltron. I had some Toxic Crusaders, the whole line. I didn't have all the vehicles, but I had a lot of the vehicles and all of the figures mint on card. Then I had all the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the triangle box. And then I had
Mm-hmm.
to get the movie Rangers with the
Of course.
shiny portions, right?
Gotta get the
And
shinies.
then, birthdays, people know that I'm big into action figures and Ninja Turtles. The
Mm-hmm.
2000, is it the 2007 Turtles that dropped? That whole line of that
Mm-hmm.
first wave, and then the second wave came where they were in all their different costumes. So when I tell you I have been there, I have lived it. The totes full of figures,
Yeah.
nowhere to display them,
Mm.
but it's just totes on totes on totes. And then once I started to pare them down and sell them off, it
Yeah.
admittedly at some dirt cheap prices, which I getting rid of my 10 back unpunched 1988 Ninja Turtles line is like my biggest collector regret. But
Oof.
but
That hurts.
having given myself into the hey, let's just start a line, especially a new line. Like so vintage lines, you already know it's there. You can kind of go, okay, here's my stopping point. This is my strategy. But if it's a new line, you don't know where they're going to go, right?
Sure.
Well, there's this 2-pack and there's that and there's this. So I have tempered my collecting. I have tamed the collecting beast that lives within
Mm-hmm.
me, but I still give way to the collecting beast. So the way that I do that now is
I love
the
this from Matt Hatter, by the way. I like Quip. He's got reform addict energy.
one day at a time, Hatter. One day at a time. I do need a coin. I need like just hey,
Yeah, when you start giving out little collector coins, and
it's been this many
this
days
isn't
since
to
I
make
bought a
light
figure.
of that, by the way.
Yeah,
I think
no,
this is good. This is healthy,
exactly.
healthy approaches to toy collecting, which we
So
don't really show this side of it on this channel a lot. So this is great. I love this.
yeah, so
I
I
need
try
this
to
more in
encourage
my
that.
life.
In the Discord, I try to encourage that as well. Somebody actually came up with a meme or a GIF of Steve Urkel saying, do you need that? I think it was Cheshire Monkey, Jeff White. But yeah, it's kind of like well, do I need this? Do I want this? And the way that I give into that collecting beast of kind of like, okay, I don't know where they're gonna go, but it's fun and I'm excited every time they drop, is the NECA cartoon Rocksteady and Bebop. I want every and all variant. I do not miss a beat as soon as they drop. If somebody
Mm-hmm.
can find them on shelves before I do, I don't mind. I'll pay the extra premium to have them shipped. And see, by controlling my collecting habits, I don't mind paying. Okay, even if nobody in the Discord finds it and hooks me up at cost, which I'm cool for. Part of another way that I tame that collecting beast or get the hunt out of my system is
Mm-hmm.
if there is something that's hard to find, if I find it on the shelves, like people will put it, hey, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that in the Discord.
Oh,
And I've
so
helped out
you
collectors who
get
have
your
helped me out as well.
fix by getting for other people.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's all at cost, right? I'm
Sure.
not jacking anything up. It says, hey,
Yeah.
let's go ahead, let's see what the lowest shipping we could do through pirate ship or whatever.
Sure.
So that I kind of get my fix from doing that.
Okay.
As I've mentioned before, I live vicariously through, what do I need all the toys for? Look at my shelves, and then I could watch Geek Dad Live and look at all the beautiful toys you have back there, or anybody else who's got a bunch of different toys on display. Like I've gotten beyond the concept of, oh, this is cool, so I need to buy it. Like I can still enjoy
Mm.
it from afar. I can enjoy, this is just something cool that's happening. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure MOTU fans love this. Thundercats fans love this. Oh my goodness. Power Rangers collectors are going to flip out when they see this. But me personally, I have my space. I like my space clean and clear of clutter. And clear clutter, clear mind, clear heart, right? It's just it anytime I do sell a bunch of figures, or like if I buy figures and then I go into Craig mode. I
Mm-hmm.
just recently did this with the NECA Back to the Future line. Just sold the whole thing off
Wait,
like that.
can we just pause and just like
Yes.
take a moment to talk about Craig mode, because I feel like
Here
that's a new phrase. It's not a verb, it's 2 words, but Craig mode.
we go.
We've
Yeah.
all gone Craig modes. at times.
You just get in a mood, and you're like, I just don't want this. I need all of it gone in
Okay,
one
yeah,
fell swoop.
let's define
Okay.
what Craig mode is. So what is Craig mode?
Okay. So I would say Craig mode
Mm-hmm.
is
I don't know if he's
is
still watching that. I hope he is. If not, I'm sure Dole will tell him. Go ahead, go.
It goes two ways, right?
Okay.
There are extremes. There's a spectrum of Craig mode.
Mm-hmm.
On one side of the spectrum of Craig mode is I'm going to get rid of this entire line because it's overwhelming. It's too much. I don't need to
Yeah.
collect all these things. I don't even like it anymore. It's become more of a burden. So
Mm-hmm.
one big purge, boom, gone.
Gone.
The other side of the spectrum is, man, I really miss collecting this. And this is kind of it's a relapse. Maybe it could be a couple months, could be a couple years. But there's a relapse of, man, I really miss that, right? You're at a different stage in your collecting. So now you want to rebuy that. And just like when you sold it, it's not necessarily a journey of buying one or
Mm-hmm.
two figures here. It's usually
Yeah.
buying big chunks and lots of those figures
Sure.
to fill that void.
Yeah.
So right now I'm on this side of the Craig spectrum of I like the when I sell it all and it's gone, it's like a burden's lifted. It really is. It's like, okay, this isn't weighing me down. These things aren't weighing me down. It's gone. I feel lighter and I've got money in my pocket, right?
I love it.
So
Hold on. I gotta bust this in. Take two. The beast is only dormant until the next Craig blood moon.
oh, but so
Craig, you know we love you. He's gonna be on next week, by the way.
awesome. Okay. But
Craig blood moon.
how I personally determine if and when I'm ready to go Craig mode and just sell off an entire line is I tell myself, okay, if somebody were to walk or knock on my door right now, say, hey, you got all these turtles, I will give you this much cash for them. I will give you this cash. Would I take it? If I would take the cash, that means that I'm kind of over the line and I could just let it go. But if I wouldn't take the cash and I'd say, well, no, I really want these figures and it would have to be some sort of crazy number, that means that I really like these figures and I want to keep them in my collection. So yeah, that's usually how I go about it. And it's the same way if I'm going to buy a toy, right? If I'm going to buy a toy, I'll say, all right, this toy costs $15. If somebody were to walk up to me and say, hey, I'll give you this toy, or I'll give you $15 cash. If I'll take the cash, that means I don't want this toy. And the trick to that is you're the person giving yourself that offer, right? Because you can choose on whether you keep that $15 cash in hand in your bank account, or whether you do decide, well, you know what? I really do want this figure. I love it that much. Let's go ahead and let that cash go and bring this figure into the collection, right?
Yeah.
So, just different tips and tricks for how I go about collecting now, based on that, as Mad Hatter put it, that recovering addict energy, right? It's just knowing myself, knowing my limits, and where to draw the line.
I love it. I love it. This is great. There's a couple of chats I do want to bless in. Let's see. Brick something. Fight your addiction by enabling others' addiction. I dig it. On you buying stuff for other people. Paul Galliano. He's a dealer, not an addict.
Don't get high on your own supply. That's the number one rule, right?
Monsters from Beyond Ian. I like the setup. It's like the devil on the shoulder, Jay, and the angel Quip. And I love this quote here from Chris Bruno talking about Craig mode. This is my favorite thing to enjoy on a Toy Anxiety episode. Hey guys, listen, I'm back in. Craig.
But it's relatable. We've all been there, you know. We over exaggerate because it's fun too, right? It's caricature, but it's always fun to hear that when Craig says, hey, I'm back in a line. It's all right. Hey, this is just fun. We're just here. We're here for it.
Anyway, all right. Well, enough of your healthy living, Quip. Let's talk about another toy you should buy. How about this? How about this? If it ever loads. Oh, there we go. Finally, they're gonna sell this new Eternia Panthor that they showed to us at San Diego Comic-Con. So that was in July, and we're just getting it now in February 2025. And I mean, the Panthor looks amazing in person. I don't like this shot at all. I think the lighting's way too oversaturated. I thought it looked way better in person than these pictures are letting on. Like, did they spray it with like like glittery Mod Podge or something? I, I, I it looked way better, folks, than this in person. I'm hoping it's just bad photography. But what's your thoughts on this Panther?
I did think that the paint is different, right? Like you said, it's kind of got
Yes.
more, it's pearlescent, almost like a chrome type feel to it. I don't know what's going on in these
Ugh.
particular photographs. I don't hate it though, because I like the new Eternia line from what I've seen of the
Sure.
Masterverse. They're going in different directions, and I think it's really important. Like the shot with if you can pull up that shot of Skeletor
Yeah.
and Panther together. Because
Yeah.
you want the purples to kind of go with one another,
Yes.
right? You want them
Yeah.
to be in
Good
the same
call.
family.
Yep.
So if those purples do indeed line up with the Skeletor and it's just odd lighting, okay, that's fair. Maybe wait for some in-hand reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to be a Mattel Creations exclusive, or is it going to also be available at retail and in store?
I think it's Mattel Creations exclusive, at least my
Okay.
understanding.
Okay.
Like it goes up. Well, let me go back to the Preternia quote I get. No, not. Oop, we'll get to that. Sorry. Mattel Creations next Tuesday, 2/11 at noon, $40. So I think it's a Mattel Creations exclusive.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it looks pretty good there. And maybe they decided to give him that more pearlescent shine to his fur because I don't know if there's a kind of a metallic element to Skeletor's purple, right? It's kind of hard to tell from this picture. It looks like it might be on the harness, maybe not so much on the cowl and the cape, but I can understand wanting those purples to jive
Yeah,
well
absolutely.
with
Yeah,
together.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Um,
Um, yeah, I'm
yeah,
just
so E and
ooh.
J just pointed out, hey, they never really sell out. Um,
Yes, the Masterverse. I don't know if a Masterverse has sold out quickly yet.
okay.
Um, for whatever that's worth. I'm trying to pull up right now. My footage
Didn't
of this at Comic-Con this year, just so we can
so
look at that too.
did Motherboard not sell out quickly? I thought that was like
No.
one of them that went. Okay, all right.
Did it? Might be. Yeah, chat, let us know. We did get a super chat here from Michael, $10 super chat. I feel like I just bought Quip's audiobook. Thanks, Quip. I needed to hear this.
Encouraging healthy
You're
habits.
helping
Yeah,
people tonight, Quip. You're
it's
helping
good.
people better
That's
than
what I'm
I
here
do.
for.
I just enable people. All right, let's. So I have. I was like, well, let's just see, because it looks too shiny. I'm just not dig. Maybe I'm just not digging any toys tonight because like I was kind of meh on Evil-Lyn. I'm kind of meh on at least the pictures. Where are you at, Masterverse? Not shoot it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, here we go. Go
And
down
it could
here.
just be where you're at in your collecting journey right now, Jay. Because I know you said this year you're trying to be a little more selective as far as your pickups, be a little more discerning, so to speak, with what you are collecting. So it could just be where you're at. And if you don't feel it, that's cool, right? You can still love this for other people, right? It doesn't make this a
Yeah,
bad figure just because you personally don't want it, but
yeah.
I don't. It looks cool.
It's solid.
Yeah.
I feel like it's still too pearlescent. Yeah, Pearl Thor for sure.
Okay.
Or Quip, yeah, maybe you just talked me out of toy collecting. I think this is the last episode of Geek Dad Life. Thank you everybody for being here. I'm out. No, I'm kidding.
Ah,
But no, yeah, I'm not digging the It just looks extra pearly and
okay.
you tell me it's kind of pearly here in the thing in the
It
case.
is
Maybe I just
kind
didn't
of.
notice it at the time.
Is it something that potentially could be taken care of? I don't know. This is almost,
Oh,
yeah.
like what? Like
If
you
you're
have to
in the
like
like a matte clear coat, if you're into customizing, right? Is that? But then if you're going to customize it, this is something that you would probably wait for it to be discounted, right? You're not looking to pay full price for something that you're going to have to do additional things to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to. Yeah. And then just given the fact that this thing rarely sells out,
Yeah.
at least on the Masterverse side, I think you just let it wait. Let it bake. Let it wait. And that'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. Let's move on from MOTU. Because there's other things going on right now, like Playmates. Hasbro doesn't give a crap about Power Rangers anymore, so they've given the license to Playmates to do Power Rangers toys. And I shouldn't laugh because I'm sure they could be fine. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reignition. But I gotta tell you, Quip, I thought the Lightning, what were they called? The Lightning
Collection.
Lightning Collection was pretty solid. Like it wasn't perfect, but there were pretty solid figures in there.
Yeah.
And what was there's a Zap? What was it? Zord Ascension program? There's those nicer Zords.
Oh yeah. I think it was that.
The not Dragon Sword. The Megazord? Yeah, Megazord was okay. The Astro, whatever the later one, was pretty cool, but they never really got too far into that. Lightning Collection died, obviously, even though Hasbro owns Power Rangers, whatever. But now Playmates is going to be doing it. But I just looking at these shadows here, and you see the joints, and they all look pretty awkward in their posing. I'm not too excited. Quip, what do you think?
I'm going to reserve judgment until they aren't silhouettes. I think Playmates does toys that are geared towards children well,
Sure.
right? So you got to think I'm looking at this Reignition line sort of like it's the Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, right? You're not going to compare, even though, let me slow down for a second.
Okay.
Lightning Collection could have also been collected by, adult collectors
or
for children. It's going to be different. It could take some getting used to. I think a component of a solid Power Rangers line is also going to involve the packaging. So as a mint and box collector,
so they bring in the triangles, you're good to go. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I'm not that easily sold. But if they bring in the triangles, and depending on really, I'm curious to see those joints, because right now it looks iffy, right? It doesn't look good.
You can see there's swivel feet. There's no ankle rockers on these. When all the feet are either like straight or just like, Charlie Chaplin straight out. Like, what are we doing here? But you're right. If they're for the kids, fine. But what kid cares about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? This was like 75 years ago at this point, Quip. Who is this for?
As far as Mighty Morphin, I know a lot of Ranger collectors are upset because they keep going through Mighty Morphin. I mean, Mighty Morphin is the bread and butter, and it doesn't seem like anybody ever finishes teams.
Yeah.
If you want completed teams, you might, depending on if your pockets will permit it, want to go the 3-0 route, who seems to be dropping like full teams at a time. They've done all the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I believe they've done all the Zeo Rangers. I don't know if they've done Turbo. I think I saw something about Turbo maybe being the next step for them to do all of them at once.
Yeah.
So, but now we're talking 3-0. We're not talking these Playmates figures. I want to see more of them. I'm curious. Do all the weapons go together? How do they scale? Interestingly enough, though, am I weird for wanting all my Power Rangers to be the exact same height, like uniform? Because there's something about the transformation that I've never really thought about or considered their height differences of how they scale together. Power Rangers is not a Street Fighter line where you need your Red Ranger to be taller than your Pink Ranger. It's cool.
Damn, you're right. Why have I never thought about the fact that their heights
now
in the show, are they the same? I know that their characters, when they're not wearing their suits, they're not the same, but when they're in the suits, no, they're not all the same height when they're in the suits, right?
I don't know. I've never paid that close attention to their heights though when they're in the suits. It's kind of my point, and kind of where
Fair.
I like the uniformity of Ranger toys all being the same height. Just in my mind, it makes sense for them all to be the same height, only because I believe it was Turbo when there was like a kid Ranger who, when that Ranger transformed, he just got to like
Yeah.
be a particular height, or
Big
I
kid,
don't know if
yeah, or
he's
a
the same
big guy,
size
yeah,
as
yeah.
anybody else. So right here, it's like it strikes me as odd that some of these figures appear as though they're taller than others, and it could just be a depth perception thing. Like
Yeah.
maybe the Red Ranger is closer than the other.
Also, some are like squatting more than others. That makes them
Yeah.
shorter.
So again, I've got to see more. I want to see more pictures, more
Yeah.
accessories. What do they come with? I doubt that we're going to get any sort of head swaps. But are they going to go into the plainclothes Rangers? Right? Are they gonna offer the human variants or versions of them? It's always interesting to see, but
Yeah.
there's hope. So the Power Rangers line isn't completely dead. I think what is also encouraging about the Power Rangers reignition, or what I think fans are hoping for, is that they finish out some of the Lightning collection, like some of the props. So I
Sure.
know me personally, one of the things that I was looking to collect, because again, it's an easy in and out, was some of those Lightning collection helmets, right? Just to
Sure,
kind of
that's fun.
line them
Yeah.
up. But I forget which ones they didn't finish. I believe there are one or two helmets from the original lineup that they just didn't do a Lightning
And
collection. And
guess what? We're
hopefully,
never gonna get them. It's never gonna happen.
I don't know why you went into Boogeyman.
I don't know. I just, I guess, can I just say my path into this where they will get me and I will buy them.
Yeah.
If they, and I know they won't do it, but if, say these are like 3.25 scale or 3.75 scale figures, maybe they're like 4-inch, 5-inch scale, whatever. If they're that, right? Because it looks like they have same articulation as Mutant Mayhem or whatever, which are fun figures, they're fun toys.
Mhm.
But if they won't, but if they did make a big Megazord where it's like the Panos Place Voltron, you could put the figures inside the Megazord. If
Okay.
they did that, I'm in. I'll forgive
Yeah.
the lack of articulation. I'll forgive the lack of paint apps. I'll forgive that they aren't like geared towards adult collectors if they can sit in a cool play set or be in the Megazord. That's what I'm in.
Okay. Okay. Again, and hey, let's wait and see. Even like, yeah, that would be cool if they could sit in the Megazord. So which would you prefer? Would you prefer like the Voltron style where they have the Zords, they can sit in the Zords that then go together to create the Megazord, or would you want it like the actual show where all of
I
them
want
can fit
both.
across? Okay, all right,
Give me
different
both.
options, right? You get that play set where they're sitting all across, and maybe it's just a bust or a torso, kind of like the Cat Slayer. Okay, all right, I'm picking up what you're laying down. I like
I
it.
just
I
and
dig it.
I get they would be insane, but that's where you just sell like the individual Zords. You don't have to make it as selling the Megazord set. Just sell the individual Zords and then have like the transformability to turn it into a Megazord. And maybe you swap out the chest thing so they all can sit there and control their little sections. I don't know. I'm throwing out ideas. Or the last time that maybe I'm wrong, but I think the last time we had like their, what was it, headquarters or whatever with Zordon in
The
there. Was
command
that
center.
the command
Yeah.
center? Was that Bandai back in the 90s? Is that the last time we got that
Bandai.
playset?
Yeah, they had that. Yeah.
So like I know Hasbro gave us Zordon, but I don't think we've got like the full on playset. They could do that and give us these figures. I'm just saying I want if we're getting like not as detailed on the figures, I want world building. I guess that's my point. You know, that's where Mutant Mayhem was so much fun. We had a huge play set. We had vehicles, different like motorcycles and vans and little dioramas. So like that is where I will. You got me. But if it's just the figures, if it's like half baked, like the recent retry with Star Trek, I'm just I'm not there. I'm not into it.
Ooh, that's true. I hadn't thought about though those figures weren't bad.
No, but it was
Yeah.
they didn't really do much. They did those first few, and that was it.
And then they just stopped. Yeah, what did we get? A Riker, a Picard, and Data, and then they just done.
And they did Rathacon figures and Discovery figures.
Yeah, they had like 2 Discovery figures. Yeah.
And that was it. And you didn't even do like my favorite of the new era. Was it Strange New Worlds? Is that the
Strange New Worlds?
Yeah, I love that. It's good Trek. So they did do Prodigy, yeah. So maybe it didn't sell well enough, whatever. Maybe Power Rangers do better. But I worry that Playmates these will be DOA as well because of that.
Yeah.
But anywho. That's about it. We've been going for an hour and a half. Quip. Anything else you want to talk about as we wrap up our big game Sunday? I can say Super Bowl at this point. Like we're an hour and a half in. Are they really going to stop us, Quip?
I don't think so. I mean, they didn't kill the stream yet. We said it a few times, so yeah.
Maybe that's. Am I still digital? Like maybe that's why I was so.
No, you cleared up a while ago. You just needed to let it run its course. There you go. Your internet had to unclog its pipes, and it's
been a minute since we've done a duck race. We'll get back to duck race. I gotta find something to give away. But yeah, Quip. Any you do any other guest spots coming up on any other shows?
I've talked with a couple people. I know I talked with Allison Troy and with Derek Hoover and Gatey's Toys. They have a retro cavalcade that's coming up soon. Talk with a couple of other people. No exact dates really dialed in, but I'm just happy to be here. Chatting, talking toys. Right? It's exciting. It's fun to do.
Well, everyone loves you here on this show. You are more than welcome to come on again anytime. Maybe you would come on just for a bit to give Craig a hard time next week. That'll be fun. But anyway,
I'm here. I'm with it.
Next, this week on the Toy Geeks podcast, we are back with a new episode. This time, Dan and I are jumping into Inhumanoids, the cult classic Hasbro toy line that, according to Dan, is canon with G.I. Joe. And according to Allison Troy, she thinks it's not canon. So watch out, folks. We're going to be button heads. Researcher versus Dan Larson. Woo, it's going to be crazy, folks. That'll drop tomorrow at 9 on the Toy Geeks channel on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to that yet, head on down to on this page if you're watching it on your laptop, and there's like other GDL channels, and the Toy Geeks is right there. Click on that, subscribe, and have a good time this week in Humanoids. I know about Humanoids. Dave, I'm with Dan. They share news anchors. I will just prepare people for Inhumanoids. We weren't too kind to the human characters. They're kind of weird. They're kind of weird. Chris, Quip can talk Craig down next week. No After Dark tonight. We got the later start because of the Super Bowl. And we had a long weekend with all the birthdays, and I haven't slept much. So I'm going to turn into a pumpkin earlier tonight, Quip. So no After Dark, but we'll be back with After Dark next week. Gem and Humanoids and Joe's. Gem shares news anchors. Exactly. It's a shared multiverse for Hasbro. But tune in, Toy Geeks, this Tuesday. Good chemistry here. Much better than that Borstalgia types that darken this channel.
Let's show Johnny some love. He's a solid guy. I enjoy his videos as well.
I love how you said solid. Like solid's what you say. You're like, hey, he's fine, but you want to be nice.
No.
Everybody, have a great week. Take care, everyone. We'll see you, Toy Geeks. It's, I don't know, Toy Anxiety Tuesday, Gotham City Night Wednesday. All of our friends are doing shows. Go watch them all. Johnny has a good personality. I know I'm going to get a text from Jonathan tomorrow morning. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Hasta luego and goodbye.